Ladies and gentlemen, every day you wake up is not just a chance. It's a choice. A choice to rise or a choice to remain. And the world does not wait for either. There's a silent hour before the noise, before the messages, before the world demands your attention. That hour belongs to those who dare to claim it. That hour belongs to the focused, the disciplined, the ones not defined by alarms, but by vision. You see, when you wake up early, you're not just getting ahead of time. You're training your spirit to lead, not follow. You're stepping into your purpose before distractions can knock. You're learning to listen to your own heartbeat before the world tells you what matters. Waking up early isn't just a habit. It's a decision to own your life before the world starts owning it for you. When you rise with the sun, or before it, you step into a rare and powerful space. You are not reacting to the day. You are designing it. Most people wake up and immediately start running from one thing to the next. They're in a race against time from the moment their eyes open. But when you wake up early, you create a space between who you were yesterday and who you can become today. That space is sacred. It's where your direction is decided, not just your schedule. Intentional beginnings are not about being busy. They are about being aligned. It's the difference between waking up with a purpose and waking up with a panic. The first 60 minutes of your day are a mirror to your life. You either step into them with focus or you stumble into them in a fog. Think about the stillness of the early hours. There's no traffic yet, no noise, no buzz of messages or emails. It's just you. And in that silence, you can actually hear yourself think. In that quiet, you remember what matters. In that stillness, clarity has space to walk in. When you give yourself the gift of an early start, you're saying to yourself, I matter enough to begin my day on my terms. You're saying that your dreams, your mental health, your growth, they deserve attention before the world asks for anything else from you. There is power in routine, but there is even greater power in intention. Anyone can set an alarm. Anyone can follow a checklist. But waking up early with intention is about more than checking boxes. It's about checking in with yourself. It's about starting your day with a declaration, not a reaction. You might spend that time exercising, stretching your body to remind yourself it is alive. You might journal, unpacking thoughts so your mind isn't carrying their weight all day. You might meditate or pray, reconnecting with something deeper than deadlines and data. Or you might simply sit, breathe, and map out your priorities. It doesn't matter how you do it. What matters is that you choose to begin with awareness, not autopilot. People often say they don't have time for their goals, for their health, for their personal development. But time isn't found. It's made. And the morning is where it's made best. You don't need 4 hours. You need one hour of focused, grounded, meaningful effort before the chaos begins. That hour can change your entire trajectory. You will notice that when your morning is strong, your decisions are stronger. When your beginning is grounded, your focus stays centered. When your energy is managed early, it is rarely stolen later. There is a confidence that rises in people who know they've already taken care of what matters before most have even started. But it takes discipline. It takes commitment. It takes letting go of excuses and leaning into vision. It's easy to say, I'm not a morning person. But excellence doesn't belong to morning people or night people. It belongs to intentional people. People who have made peace with the discomfort of discipline. because they are at war with mediocrity. Waking up early will challenge you. It will confront your habits. It will test your will. But if you stay with it long enough, it will change you. You will start to see your life respond to your intentionality. You will notice that opportunities begin to align with your efforts, not because the world changed, but because you did. And maybe you won't see the results in the first week. Maybe it'll be hard for the first month. But what you are doing is building a foundation. You're not just starting your day. You're setting the rhythm for your entire life, one morning at a time. So when that alarm goes off and everything in you wants to stay in bed, remember this: the cost of comfort is often the death of potential. And you were not made to sleep through your greatness. Waking up early is not the goal. Living awake is. Let your beginning be intentional. Let your morning be yours. And let your life rise from that place, powerful, deliberate, and unstoppable. Let me know if you'd like the remaining keynotes extended to or compiled into a full speech or ebook style format. There is a kind of silence that only exists before the world wakes. It is not just quiet, it is peace. In that silence, you find something the noise can never give you: clarity, strength, focus. In the early hours, when the world hasn't yet demanded anything from you, there is freedom to return to yourself. The world we live in is filled with sound. Notifications, conversations, headlines, meetings, traffic, always pulling, always speaking, always asking for your attention. But the voice that matters most, the one within you, gets drowned out in all of it. And yet, it is the quiet voice that guides you. It's the one that reminds you of your purpose when the rest of the world is busy reminding you of your pressure. When you wake up early, you meet that silence. And when you sit in it, something happens. Your thoughts slow down. Your heart rate calms. Your breathing deepens. Your mind clears. You begin to hear your own voice again, undistorted by the volume of the outside world. That moment is not empty, it's full. It's where presence lives. It's where strength begins. We often mistake silence for weakness. We assume noise equals action and action equals results. But some of the strongest decisions are made in stillness. Some of the greatest ideas come not when you're running, but when you're resting. And some of the most powerful transformations begin not with shouting, but with quiet resolve. Think about it: before the sun shines, there is darkness. But that darkness is not a void, it's preparation. Nature does not rush the dawn. It waits. Intentionally. Consistently. And in that wait, the world is made ready for the light. When you rise early and step into the silence, you're doing the same. You're preparing your inner world before the outer world catches up. It's in these quiet hours that the fog clears and the path appears. The silence becomes a space for reflection, not regret. You think about who you've been, who you want to be, and what it will take to close the gap. You set your intentions, not as wishes, but as choices. Because in the quiet, you realize you do have a choice. This silence, this calm before the storm, doesn't ask for applause. It doesn't need recognition. It just is. And that's what makes it powerful. It doesn't seek to impress. It seeks to center. And that's exactly what it does for you. It centers you, aligns you, grounds you in a way no podcast, no motivational video, no calendar app can. Silence teaches you how to sit with your thoughts without running. It shows you your fears without judgment. It reveals your desires without filters. And in that honest space, you begin to understand what truly drives you. Not the surface level goals, but the deeper ones, the ones that come from a place of meaning, not just ambition. Early morning silence gives you an edge. Not because you're doing more than everyone else, but because you're becoming more aware than everyone else. And awareness leads to wisdom. It helps you make better decisions, not just faster ones. It helps you respond rather than react. It helps you rise above the noise because you no longer need it to feel alive. So many people walk through their day distracted, pulled in 10 directions, wondering why they feel lost. It's because they never paused to find themselves before the day began. They never created a moment of stillness to remember their why. They never listened to the silence long enough to hear the truth whispering underneath the pressure. But you have the power to choose differently. When you wake early and embrace the silence, you reclaim your energy. You protect your peace. You give your mind a place to rest and your soul a place to breathe. That space becomes a sanctuary. And when you start your day from that sanctuary, everything changes. You walk into the world calmer, stronger, more grounded. Not because the world got easier, but because you got centered. You faced yourself in the quiet and came out ready. Not for perfection, but for presence. And presence is power. So don't fear the silence. Don't rush to fill it. Sit with it. Breathe in it. Learn from it. Let it shape you. Let it sharpen you. Because in that still, silent hour before the world calls your name, you get to decide who you're going to be. And that right there is strength. Would you like the next keynote, Discipline Over Motivation, extended as well? There's a truth that many people run from because it doesn't sound exciting. It doesn't sell quick results. It doesn't promise instant success, but it holds more power than any motivational quote or viral video. Discipline will take you where motivation cannot. Motivation is a spark. It's a rush. It's that high energy moment when you feel like doing something great. But here's the truth. You won't always feel like it. You won't always wake up excited. You won't always be inspired. And that's where most people fall off because they wait on a feeling to guide them. But feelings are fragile. They change. They fade. They're unreliable. Discipline, on the other hand, is not loud. It doesn't shout. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It just shows up day after day, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. It is the quiet contract you make with yourself when no one is watching and no one is cheering, but you keep going anyway. You see, waking up early, setting goals, staying focused, showing up. It's not about feeling motivated all the time. It's about being committed to who you said you would be. It's about deciding that your purpose matters more than your mood. Motivation is what gets you started. Discipline is what builds the life. It's the difference between dreaming and doing, between wishing and working. And once you understand that, your entire mindset shifts. You stop asking, do I feel like it? And you start asking, is this aligned with who I'm becoming? You stop chasing energy and you start creating structure. Structure that holds you up when your energy is gone. Structure that keeps you moving when the road gets hard. Because the truth is, your journey will get hard. There will be resistance. There will be obstacles. There will be days when your vision feels distant and your will feels weak. And it is in those moments that discipline steps forward. Discipline doesn't need applause. It doesn't need the perfect playlist or the perfect morning or the perfect plan. It just needs a reason. A strong enough why. When your why is clear, your discipline becomes non-negotiable. Think about the people you admire, the ones who lead, the ones who inspire, the ones who leave a mark. They don't rise because they're constantly motivated. They rise because they mastered the art of doing the work, especially when it was hard, boring, or thankless. They showed up when no one asked them to. They kept their promises when no one else was looking. That's discipline. And discipline is not just about hard work. It's about alignment. It's about making choices today that reflect the future you're building. It's about saying no to what is easy so you can say yes to what is meaningful. It's about putting in the reps, not just in the gym, but in your mind, your habits, your attitude. Some days, the alarm will go off and your bed will feel like the most comfortable place in the world. You'll negotiate with yourself. You'll say, just 10 more minutes. But you have to remember, every time you choose comfort over commitment, you lose a piece of momentum. And momentum is sacred. Discipline is choosing progress over perfection. It's waking up, lacing your shoes, opening the book, writing the plan, having the hard conversation. Not because it's easy, but because you said you would. And every time you follow through, even in a small way, you build trust with yourself. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. This isn't about being robotic. It's not about ignoring your feelings. It's about learning to lead them, to honor them without being ruled by them. It's about having emotions, but not letting those emotions control your direction. Discipline is not cold. It's not rigid. It's rooted in love. Love for your future. Love for your purpose. Love for the person you're becoming. That kind of love doesn't need motivation to act. It acts because it's built on truth. And truth doesn't waver. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop chasing the high of motivation. It's not about how fired up you are. It's about how faithful you are. How faithful you are to your purpose, your habits, your commitments. And on the days when you feel tired, unmotivated, unsure, remember this, you don't have to feel strong to act strong. You just have to decide that who you're becoming matters more than how you feel right now. That's discipline. That's where your power lies. And when you train your mind to move with discipline, not emotion, you don't just win the day. You win your life. The world moves fast. From the moment the sun comes up, demands start pouring in. Emails, calls, messages, traffic, responsibilities. If you're not careful, you spend your whole day reacting instead of creating. You become a passenger instead of the driver. But there is a time, a narrow window, where the world is still. It's quiet. And in that quiet, you have power. That time is early morning. And productivity, real productivity, the kind that transforms lives, starts there before the world even knows you're awake. Productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most with purpose and presence. The early morning hours are where that begins. When you wake up before the world does, you get something that's hard to find later: uninterrupted space. Space to think clearly, to act without distraction, to move without noise. In the morning, your mind is sharp. Your willpower is stronger. Your focus is cleaner. You're not yet burdened by the weight of the day. You're not pulled in 5 directions. And that mental clarity is where great work happens. It's where goals are set, ideas are born, habits are formed. Too often we wait for the right time to get serious about our goals. After work, after errands, after everything else is done. But by then, Our energy is drained. Our minds are scattered. Our will is thin. That's why early mornings matter. You're working with full strength, not leftovers. Think about the first hour of your day. Is it reactive, jumping out of bed, checking your phone, rushing into tasks? Or is it proactive, quiet, focused, intentional? Because how you begin is how you continue. If you start your day in chaos, chaos follows. But if you start with clarity, productivity follows. This doesn't mean you have to wake up at 4 a.m. or follow a rigid schedule. It means you take ownership of your time. You protect your mornings like they're sacred. Because they are. That time is yours. Before the meetings, before the kids, before the noise. It's the only time you truly control. In those early hours, you can move your body, clear your mind, fuel your spirit, and plan your day from a place of strength. You can prioritize what really matters, not just what's urgent. You can work on that business idea. You can write the book. You can study. You can build. You can focus deeply and produce more in 1 hour than others do in 3 because your energy is fresh and undivided. And here's the truth. The world rewards productivity. But not just business. The world rewards those who create results, who finish things, who solve problems, who move forward. Those who consistently make progress, even in small ways, rise above the average. And that progress, it starts in the margins of the day, early, quiet, focused. You might say, I'm not a morning person. But that's not fixed. That's trained. What you do repeatedly becomes who you are. And when you start to feel the power of owning your mornings, of getting ahead while others are sleeping in, it changes you. It gives you confidence. It gives you rhythm. It gives you control. The most successful people in every field, leaders, creators, athletes, thinkers, they all know the value of time. They know the morning is not a break. It's an edge. It's an advantage. While others are rushing to catch up, they've already moved forward. They've already centered themselves. They've already done the hard things. Productivity doesn't just come from hard work. It comes from smart beginnings. It comes from putting first things first. It comes from deciding that the most valuable part of your day is too important to waste on scrolling or snoozing. That first hour, those early moments, that's where your foundation is laid. And when you build your day on a strong foundation, everything else gets easier. You make decisions faster. You manage stress better. You lead with clarity. You execute with confidence. That's the ripple effect of a strong morning. It's not about just getting up early. It's about using that time to set the tone, to get ahead, to rise while others are waiting. So the next time you think about hitting snooze, remember this: the quiet morning is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally. It's where the day is won before it even begins. And if you can claim those hours and fill them with purpose, you will look back months from now and realize it wasn't luck. It wasn't chance. It was what you did when no one else was watching. Before the world woke up, you were already building yours. Time is not just ticking on a clock. It's not just minutes passing or schedules filling. Time is your most valuable currency. And how you spend it is a direct reflection of what you value, what you believe, and what you're becoming. People think excellence is about talent, about opportunity, about luck. But more than anything, excellence is about how you use your time. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose motivation and find it again. But time, once it's gone, it never returns. Every second is an investment. Every moment you spend is a decision. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly exchanging your time for something: comfort, distraction, progress, or purpose. Excellence doesn't happen in grand moments. It happens in the way you choose to show up every single day. And that choice begins with how you manage your time. The difference between average and exceptional is often not talent. It's how deliberately one person uses their 24 hours compared to another. We all get the same time. No matter your background, your struggle, or your status, you get the same 24 hours. But some people turn that time into growth, into impact, into mastery. Others spend it chasing things that don't move them forward. And the difference: awareness, discipline, intention. People who live with excellence don't ask, how can I fill my time? They ask, how can I focus it? They don't chase business. They pursue value. They cut distractions like dead weight. They guard their time like it's gold, because it is. They know that wasting time is not just losing hours. It's delaying the life they were born to live. Look around. The people who rise to greatness are not always the ones who had the most support. They are often the ones who respected their time enough to fight for it, to use it to grow when no one was watching, to build something small every day that added up to something great. That's the formula. Not just hard work, but smart time. Excellence is not built in moments of convenience. It's built in the moments you choose to invest your time where it matters most. Especially when no one is clapping. Especially when no one is asking you to do it. Especially when no one sees the hours you put in before the breakthrough came. And that's what makes it powerful. Because time doesn't lie. Your calendar doesn't lie. Where you spend your time will show you exactly where your priorities are. Even if your words say something different. If you say you want to grow, but spend your time scrolling, your time tells the truth. If you say you want to change, but keep putting it off, your time reveals the gap. And when you look at it clearly, not with judgment, but with honesty, you can begin to realign. Excellence requires that you treat time like the treasure it is. That you wake up knowing the clock is ticking, not in fear, but in focus. That you stop saying, I don't have time, and start asking, where am I giving it away to things that don't serve my purpose? Because when you begin to manage your time with clarity, everything changes. You make sharper decisions. You say no more confidently. You say yes more purposefully. You begin to live on offense, not defense. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. This is not about being busy. It's not about filling every hour with productivity. It's about learning to discern what matters. It's about building time for rest, reflection, and recovery. Because those things are part of excellence too. But they are chosen. They are intentional. They are not just the result of being overwhelmed or distracted. Time is a tool. In the right hands, it builds legacies. In the wrong hands, it slips through the cracks. What are you building with yours? You don't need more hours in a day. You need more clarity about what you're building and more courage to protect your time like it matters. Because it does. Every hour you spend in growth compounds. Every hour you spend distracted delays something greater. So look at your time like a craftsman looks at their tools. With respect, with care, with vision. Because excellence is not a surprise. It's not an accident. It's the result of small, wise choices, day after day, hour after hour. Time is not just passing. It's offering you a choice to be ordinary or to be excellent, Choose well. Your day doesn't begin when you walk out the door. It doesn't begin when the world demands your attention. It begins the moment you open your eyes. That first breath, that first thought, that first choice, that's where your reality starts to take shape. And the mindset you carry into the morning will follow you through every room, every decision, every challenge of your day. Before you check your phone, before you scroll, before you reply, ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind? Because whatever you feed it, it multiplies. If you start your day with chaos, don't be surprised if everything feels heavy. If you start your day with doubt, don't be shocked when everything feels uncertain. But if you begin with clarity, with gratitude, with purpose, the world starts to reflect that back to you. Your mindset is not just a feeling. It's a lens. It shapes what you see, how you see it, and how you respond to it. The same day can look like an obstacle or an opportunity, depending on the mindset you bring into it. Two people can face the same situation. One shrinks, the other rises. The difference is not in the event. It's in the internal preparation. And that preparation starts in the morning. That's why how you wake up matters. Not just the time, but the tone. Do you rush or do you reflect? Do you worry or do you affirm? Do you react to noise or do you choose silence? These small, quiet choices shape the foundation of your day. And that foundation, it determines how tall you can build. You can't control everything that will happen today. You can't control other people, traffic outcomes, or interruptions. But you can control the atmosphere you bring into the day. You can set your tone before the world sets it for you. That's what the morning mindset gives you. Ownership. It's the difference between starting the day with power or pressure. Power doesn't come from pretending everything's perfect. It comes from preparing yourself to respond with strength, even when things go wrong. That kind of strength doesn't just appear. It's built. It's trained. It's chosen. Day by day, morning by morning. Your thoughts in the morning become your compass. If you wake up thinking, I'm behind, I'm tired, I'm not enough, then your brain looks for proof. But if you wake up thinking, I'm focused, I'm ready, I've got what I need to take the next step, your actions start to align with that vision. That's not just motivation. That's mental strategy. Mindset is not just positive thinking. It's purposeful thinking. It's knowing the direction you want your energy to flow and steering your mind like a captain steers a ship. Calm, with intention. Start with great attitude, not because everything is easy, but because your perspective can always rise higher. Gratitude grounds you. It reminds you that even if everything isn't where you want it to be, you're still standing, still breathing, still able to choose. And as long as you can choose, you can change. Then clarify your purpose. What matters today? What needs your energy, your focus, your full presence? Don't let the world decide that for you. Take the driver's seat. Your purpose doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be clear. Finally, affirm who you are and who you're becoming. Speak it out loud. Write it down. Repeat it until your mind believes it again. Because the morning is not just a routine. It's a rehearsal. You're rehearsing the attitude, the focus, and the strength you'll need later when things get hard. This isn't about being perfect. Some mornings you'll feel off. Some days the energy won't be there. That's okay. It's not about feeling powerful every morning. It's about choosing power over panic, presence over pressure, purpose over noise. And over time, That choice becomes your identity. You're no longer the person who's reacting to the day. You become the person who sets the tone for the day, who commands the room with peace, who leads with calm, clarity, and quiet confidence. So before the world calls your name, before the notifications light up, before the noise begins, choose your mindset. Center your thoughts. Declare your focus. Feed your spirit. Because the world you experience is shaped not by what happens to you, but by how you show up to it. And how you show up, that starts in the morning. Success isn't random. It doesn't fall into your lap while you sleep in. It doesn't show up just because you wish for it or because you once had a good idea. Success is earned in discipline, in silence, in early hours when no one is watching. Before the sun rises, before the noise begins, that's where the real work happens. That's where winners are built. If you study the lives of people who lead, who build, who inspire, those who rise above average and deliver something meaningful to the world, you'll notice a pattern. They don't waste the early hours. They don't treat the morning like an afterthought. They use it. They own it. Because they understand that the time before sunrise is sacred. It's not empty. It's full of possibility. The world hasn't started pulling on you yet. The demands haven't arrived. The distractions haven't begun. And in that stillness, you have the power to shape what comes next. That quiet hour is a mirror. It reflects your commitment. It reveals your priorities. It shows you what matters most. Because what you choose to do before the world starts choosing for you is honest. It's real. You can't fake early morning discipline. No one claps for you. No one sees it. You don't get instant recognition. But what you do get is progress. You get focus. You get the space to prepare, to grow, to develop the mental strength that will carry you through challenges later in the day. That strength doesn't show up by accident. It's cultivated. Success begins in the choices you make when it's hard to make them. When the bed is warm. When sleep feels easier. When comfort whispers, stay. And discipline answers, move. That's when champions are made. That's when businesses are built. That's when artists create. That's when students master. That's when leaders lead themselves. You don't rise by chance. You rise by choice, repeatedly, quietly, early. People ask, what's the secret? But there is no secret. It's visible in the habits. It's etched into the calendar. It's in the alarm clock that rings before the sun touches the sky. It's in the quiet prayers, the cold workouts, the early study sessions, the morning journaling, the intentional reading, the planning before the pressure. That's where success is born. Before anyone congratulates you, you must first show up when no one asks you to. You must honor your goals even when the motivation isn't there. You must plant seeds in the dark so that they can rise in the light. And that takes vision. That takes maturity. That takes the kind of hunger that doesn't need an audience. Success is not about doing one big thing right. It's about doing the quiet things consistently. The hard things, the early things, the boring things, the things that most people skip. While they sleep, you're preparing. While they delay, you're beginning. While they talk, you're doing. And no, it won't always be easy. There will be mornings when you're tired, when the results aren't coming fast, when doubt tries to speak louder than purpose. That's when the habit matters most, because your actions can carry you through what your emotions try to avoid. Discipline keeps moving when motivation fades. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional. Even 1 hour of focus time before sunrise can shift your entire day. It can give you the edge. It can give you the lead. Because when you start ahead, you move differently. You carry yourself with clarity. You act with authority. You don't chase the day, you command it. Success doesn't begin with applause. It begins in the dark. It begins when you choose effort over ease, purpose over pleasure, vision over comfort, and day by day, choice by choice, that quiet investment turns into visible success. Others might call it talent. They might call it luck. But you'll know the truth. You'll know where it came from. It came from those quiet mornings. From the sacrifices no one saw. From the consistency that few understood. From the decisions made before the sun ever rose.